TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Quartz Ready Finance. Family Fun Days are on now. Get what you need at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Quartz and Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, while expressing gratitude to the nation's public servants, continued his plea for teachers that have yet to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to do so. According to the Prime Minister, most of the positions that the teachers have left have not been filled permanently and are still available to the teachers that vacated them, should they decide to take the vaccine. We hear more from the Prime Minister. Tourism Chit Chat, every Friday on WEFM at 9:35.
I want to thank the public servants who overwhelmingly have been doing a fantastic job. I want them to know that I love them very much. I want to plead again with the teachers. In this period of restoring, in this period of pressure, please take the vaccine. Take the vaccine. I want to see you come back and work. We haven't filled the overwhelming majority of the positions permanently because I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. Please, the vaccine ain't going to kill you. The vaccine ain't going to harm you. There's an abundance of evidence from about 40,000 people in the country who have taken it. So then we don't fight up one another with this thing now, please. And we shortly fill in the position before the end of July. Come on. Let's go now.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Under the Public Health, Public Body Special Measures Rules 2021, which came into effect on November 19, 2021, all teachers, unless they have received an exemption, are prohibited from entering the workplace unless they have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Active cases of COVID-19 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines currently stand at 35, following the report of 1 new case and 13 new recoveries. According to the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment's COVID-19 update for Tuesday, July 5th, there were no new COVID-19 deaths reported, which leaves that number at 114. Of that number, 8 of the deceased were fully vaccinated, 1 was partially vaccinated, and 105 were unvaccinated. COVID-19 hospitalizations in SVG remain at 6. All 6 patients are unvaccinated. 30,888 people have received 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, while 3,911 booster shots have been administered. Since March of 2020, there have been 9,076 COVID-19 cases reported in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Police here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are calling for an immediate stop to the use of Baygon aerosol as lighters following Saturday's Soca Monarch event. Some patrons were engaged in using Baygon aerosol bottles as lighters, which also caused injury to other people. This is a dangerous practice and should stop immediately, the police said in a release sent out on July 3rd. The release from the Public Relations and Complaints Department also stated that the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, RSVGPF, strongly condemns the irresponsible behavior of some patrons at the Raga Soca and Power Soca Monarch shows at Victoria Park on Saturday, July 2nd, 2022, for throwing glass bottles, Baygon aerosol bottles, and other projectiles into the air, which resulted in several persons receiving injuries. The police in the release issued a reminder that there is a no-bottle policy that is still in effect, which prohibits the sale of beverages in glass bottles or glass containers, the consumption of any beverage in a glass bottle or container, the possession or carrying of a glass bottle or glass container in the area. A person who fails to comply with the policy commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $500. On to news in the region. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court found that the selection of an intimate partner is a private and personal choice. The ruling also said that Antigua and Barbuda's 1995 Sexual Offences Act offends the right to liberty, protection of the law, freedom of expression, protection of personal privacy, and protection from discrimination on the basis of sex. The ruling comes after a gay man who works at Antigua's Ministry of Health and a local group called Women Against Rape Incorporated asked that the law be found unconstitutional. The rarely used law states in part that two consenting adults found guilty of having anal sex would face 15 years in prison. If found guilty of serious indecency, they would face 5 years in prison. The Eastern Caribbean Alliance for Diversity and Equality welcomed Tuesday's outcome, which came in litigation that began in 2020 to challenge what it called invasive and unconstitutional remnants of colonial law. St. Kitts and Nevis's Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris has promised to do away with the value-added tax if granted a third term in office. During a recent PLP meeting, he said, "The people who want a debt-free economy, free from the IMF, people who want VAT to drop, I shall drop the VAT in our next term as soon as the economy is stabilized." VAT is part of Douglas's legacy. It was Douglas who bankrupted our country, went to the IMF and begged them for $234 million to keep the country running, couldn't even pay the salaries of the people here. The government also promised to deliver a secure future for the young people of the two-island federation by ensuring each of them has access to a world-class education. Construction was recently started on the Basseterre High School, which, according to PM Harris, will transform education and create hundreds of jobs. On the international scene, one of Italy's most wanted men, mobster Rocco Morabito, has arrived in Rome after being extradited from Brazil, where he had been in hiding. Known as the Cocaine King of Milan, Morabito was arrested in May last year in a joint operation by Brazilian and Italian police. The 55-year-old will serve a 30-year prison sentence for drug trafficking. The mafia boss spent decades on the run using a fake identity in South America. Police finally tracked him down last year to João Pessoa, a port city in northeastern Brazil, where he was arrested along with another member of the Ndrangheta mafia group, Vincenzo Pasquino. Pasquino has since been sentenced to 17 years in prison for drug trafficking. And finally, in sports, Paul Pogba is set to rejoin Juventus on a free transfer after his Manchester United contract expired. It is understood the 29-year-old France midfielder will have a medical at the weekend before completing the move. Pogba joined United from the Italian side in 2016 for a then world record fee of £89 million. United and Pogba failed to agree on a new contract, and the club confirmed at the start of June that he would leave as a free agent this summer. It is anticipated Pogba will begin training with Juventus next week prior to their trip to the United States, where they will face Barcelona and Real Madrid on the 27th and 30th of July, respectively. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, schools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family Fun Days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Out with the old, in with the new. In the past, you complained when we failed.